And you know what? I'll bet your wife for your child's future, one-way bet, if she can prove wrong what I said, $10,000 to her. It's a one-way bet. God is my witness. We'll fly your wife here. I'll pay her $10,000 on air. $10,000 if she can prove anything I just said's wrong. You can't do it, lady. I got 4 kids. They've never had a shot. All right, I keep trying to go to your calls, and we got Matt Bracken coming up, so I'm pushing him back. And you got Trump just unveiled a merit-based immigration system. And I was sitting in there trying to eat my lunch in 4 minutes watching him. And I said, let me guess. This has been going on 30 minutes. He's released the text of it. I bet the Democrats are already decrying deporting convicted criminals like MS-13. And sure as hell, it was already in the Washington Post. These people are predictable. I mean, Trump could have a cure for cancer, and they would say they didn't want it. It's just crazy. Speaking of that, there's an article on Infowars.com that is incredible. It's a Zero Hedge article. And I knew this about Brennan, former head of national security. I didn't know it about Comey, but sure enough, they've got links to it. They both voted communist. Into the 1980s. Is that not crazy? The heads of Obama's FBI and CIA both voted for communist during the Cold War, yet were somehow able to move up the ranks within the same U.S. intelligence community that has spent decades fighting that very ideology. And then when I went and read this during the breaks, it's in mainstream news. They're both bragging. Comey's like, I'm a commie. He's like some 8-foot-tall, weird-ass Martian who obviously doesn't like, and you hear communist, the big banks want you controlled under communism. They're all exempt from it. Wow. What a bunch of American-hating trash. Boy, Joseph McCarthy sure got proven right, didn't he? He never did 1/10 of the persecution the left's doing of us right now. And notice they're calling us Russian. Unbelievable. Absolutely insane. All right, we're going to go ahead and go to some of your phone calls now. And then I will play some of that Trump speech. Then Matt Bracken's going to come on. So the first caller, we can put that call list back up on screen for me. Thank you. First caller I want to go to, and then we're going to get to Lander and William and others, is Maryland Patriot says that his wife and mother are pushing him, I guess, to get vaccines. And so I'm going to find out what's happening or pushing for their child to have vaccines. So tell us what's happening, Maryland Patriot.
Alex, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate you, brother.
I want to plug your products, man. I'm a 49-year-old landscaper. I do patios, walks, and walls, and I couldn't do what I do without DNA Force bringing the feeling back in my 3 fingers on my left hand, the bodies every day to calm my body, the super male vitality. If I had to pick one product to take and it was the only one I could take with me on a ship or whatever, I would take the iodine. The silver bullet keeps me and my family, from being really sick. It keeps us clean, and a load of other. I got your air filter, your water filter, and we're living good. I'm in a freaking war against my mother, my aunt, and my wife with vaccines. I got a beautiful little boy coming in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And it's like I present information, right? And these women aren't stupid. My wife's got 2 MBAs. I don't understand.
Well, they get into hysteria and it's peer pressure, and then they see all the stuff in the news. And so have you showed them that there's no safety testing on vaccines? Have you showed them they have liability protection? Have you read them the inserts of measles, mumps, and rubella saying it can cause type 1 diabetes or Guillain-Barré's or all sorts of autoimmune diseases, or that children for at least a year, especially if they're breastfed, have childhood immunity, infant immunity. And if you give them vaccines, it can cause a permanent autoimmune disorder. I mean, have you actually gone to Walgreens or CVS and said, I don't want your fact sheet. I want the insert by law you're supposed to give me that comes in each bottle of it. I mean, have you gotten that? And it's as thin as Bible paper. It is Bible paper. And you can sit there and highlight it with a magnifying glass. It's the finest print you've ever seen. Okay, it's like a pocket Bible. And then you show them that. I mean, have you done that?
No, that's my next step. I have to do that.
Yeah, no, that's the ace of spades. That shuts people up real fast.
You know, my wife's from Brazil, right? And we had my first son down there. And I fought her down there, but we were in Brazil. You know, there's a lot of third world stuff down there. And so I let her, you know, he got probably a dozen vaccines over 2 years. And, you know, thank God he's fine. He's bright. He's smart. But, you know, there's ticking time bombs in him. I realize that. But,
well, again, just, I can tell you how to argue this. I'd say, honey, I know that you can learn immunity from vaccines. I know they can attenuate viruses and bacteria. But even Japan says don't give kids vaccines till 18 months. They're more industrialized than us. India banned the Gardasil shot that killed so many young girls and say, you know, they want to put hundreds of things in kids' bodies. You know that whatever else is in the shot, your body then creates an autoimmune response to for life. And just give her stacks of mainstream articles about autism up or autoimmune disorders being way up or allergies being associated with vaccines. And just show them and say, well, okay, honey, 50 years ago, it was 3 vaccines they wanted to push. Now it's 56. Soon it'll be 200. Should we give the baby 200 shots? Don't you get it's a newborn baby? You know, a bee sting could kill the baby. Well, what is in this? I mean, women have got to understand, and men as well, autoimmune responses. How many people listening took a vaccine once and got real sick? Almost everybody. Everybody I know in the military, tough guys, have gotten really, really sick. You can also read The Vaccine Epidemic, very powerful book, available at InfoWarsStore.com, 100% reviews, and give that to her. It's written, you know, by scientists, by experts, and it lays it all out. And let me tell you, mark my words, Monsanto and Bayer, explain this to them, are both in vaccines, okay? Especially Bayer. Bayer knowingly gave millions of people HIV in a blood product that they knew had it in it. They just didn't care, okay? And it's the same thing with Monsanto and all the stuff they're doing. They're about to get bankrupted. Vaccine makers have liability total protection. You've got to explain that. Say, hey, why can't other consumer groups that are allowed to talk about other issues talk about vaccines? Because it's their Achilles heel. If you think Monsanto and Roundup's bad, baby, it's mama's milk compared to what's in these vaccines. So that's for your wife and mother-in-law. This will be like 10 minutes into the 4th hour. So 3 hours, 10 minutes into the archive. It'll go up in a few hours to Infowars.com. You can queue it right up for your wife. And you know what? I'll bet your wife for your child's future. One-way bet. If she can prove wrong what I said, $10,000 to her. It's a one-way bet. God is my witness. We'll fly your wife here. I'll pay her $10,000 on air. $10,000. If she can prove anything I just said's wrong. You can't do it, lady. I got 4 kids. They've never had a shot. In Germany and China, they produce clean vaccines that cost thousands of dollars a shot because they go through with spectrometers, electron microscopes, and testers and screen everything out, because then it actually has an effect. If you have anything else in it, your body creates an autoimmune response. Look up 1996. UN, African doctors, and Pakistani doctors and Indian doctors found they were adding a female hormone to the tetanus shot, giving it to women, and it was sterilizing them, and they were having miscarriages in the 2nd trimester because it created an autoimmune response to that hormone. Ma'am, look up SV40. You'll have Snopes. Oh, look, Snopes says SV40 is a cancer virus, and the government admits it gave people cancer, but not everybody. Snopes says the sky isn't blue. Look it up. God bless you, brother. I really appreciate your call. I appreciate it. Call me back. And like I said, get his name and number. $10,000. One way. She's not betting me. If she can prove any of that substantively, she gets $10,000. You can't do it, ma'am. I want you to do the research and find out that you need to protect your baby. There is a mission. I'm asking you to accept it and take action. We've had such a huge effect over the years with our t-shirts, but we haven't had a hit t-shirt in over a year. Yeah, we sell a few hundred here, a few thousand there, but when we had 50,000 Hillary for President shirts on the street, or Obama Joker 100,000 on the street, it changed the world and it funded the InfoWar. All of our apparel is 50% off. That's all the t-shirts, all the ball caps, all everything. So again, I would encourage listeners to understand, if you're in a right-wing or nationalist area, you'll get pats on the back, a cup of coffee probably bought for you wearing an InfoWar shirt, meet a lot of like-minded people. It's a real adventure. But if you're in a leftist area, they don't speak Latin, they don't know what Molon Labe means, they don't know what attorney response team is, they don't know what a Don't California My USA is. That's some of our new shirts. So that's a fun thing, is just meet like-minded people and spread the word. But if you wear an Infowars.com shirt in some leftist areas around universities or whatever, you might get stabbed or hit over the head with a baseball bat or whatever. So caution when wearing these. But you know, our audience really doesn't run. So I made all these t-shirts that don't have Infowars on them, and people like them, but nothing like they do the ones that are loud and proud Infowars.com, or that Trump Medusa t-shirt's my favorite. But the best selling is the in-your-face, big, bright red Infowars.com shirt. That's the one everybody wants right there. We have the Don't Tread on Me. We have Mean Like a Wolverine. We have a bunch of great ball caps, 1776, 50% off all apparel. And they point out it's annual. We've not done this, I looked it up, in over a year. Because listen, the dollar isn't what it used to be, but everything is 50% off. We go and look at what the purchase order is, what it was, and give you literally 50% off. This is the best time. And these shirts freak the leftist out, the globalist out, and it helps fund this great operation. All apparel, 50% off at InfoWarsStore.com. Haven't done this in over a year. InfoWarsStore.com takes you right there at 888-253-3139. Wear your colors loud and proud at InfoWarsStore.com.